Hey, Tom, we can't hear you.
Sorry. So go over that one more time. So today we're going to be building a CRUD app, kind of what you guys have been doing the past couple of days. It's all about repetition with building these CRUD apps, just repetition, doing like URLs, views, and then models and templates and stuff like that. So hopefully by the end of this week, you'll be able to pump out a CRUD app pretty quickly. But today we're specifically going to introduce the built-in admin panel in Django, as well as styling our app with Bootstrap, and then also introduce something called base templates. So all I did right here is CD into my desktop and created a new Django app called My Site. And I'm in My Site right now, and now I'm just activating the virtual environment. Are we good?
Yeah.
Thank you. Let me know. So I'm activating it.
You broke it.
I broke it.
Wow. It's like, what's this next computer? Is that David?
There we go. I don't know why. It's my thing does that. I have to type something first before it to come up. But anyway. All right. So I need a pip install Django. Collecting. All right. Installed successfully. I'm gonna do this pip install upgrade. Command.
Are we gonna do that one stuff?
I'm not sure.
Upgrading
Inside the virtual environment.
So your My Site that you created, that basically be like the project folder we start out, we clone down, right?
Yep, sorry. So the first, I did the Django project, start project, My Site. That was the first command I did when I was in my desktop. I ran that Django admin start project, My Site. So that's the first thing I ran, and then I CD'd into My Site. Now I'm in here, and then this is where I created the virtual environment. Manage.py, there's My Site, the virtual environment. Then I just installed Django. Now I need to create an app, because we don't really have, we have my project, but we don't actually have an app yet. So Python, manage.py. Instead of start project, we're going to do start app, and this is going to be a blogging CRUD app. It's going to have posts. Call it a blog. Well, list that out. I'm sorry? So we already did a start project. So I'm gonna open this all up. Right there. Here's my blog. There's my project. There's my app. Here's my virtual environment. Here's my manage.py file. All right. So what's the first thing we should do? Oh no.
What happened?
So, yep. Yeah, when I opened the new folder. So I need to reactivate my virtual environment. Source vnv /bin activate. Thank you for letting me know. Cool. So now I'm back in my virtual environment. Before I do that, what should I do? I mean, we can start with our models. Maybe I should just add my app to my admin.
Oh, there you go.
Installed app. I like to add it at the bottom. What's it called? Blog. Put a little comma there.
Yeah, I realize it doesn't work without the comment. That would like be saying that, oh, I just put the comment there. I tried to do it.
It should work.
If you put it at the end. Not that a comment in between every item.
Yeah.
One on the very end.
This one you don't need, but I just do it anyway because a lot of times if you add another app, you forget it. So.
Or if somebody, or if you're adding a whole bunch of different apps into it, you just copy and paste the whole list.
All right, so I added the blog app to the installed apps. Again, settings is where all the settings of your Django project are. It comes with all this stuff that we have that's already built into Django. And we'll see this later on. All right, close that out. Now, Ethan, what should we work on? Models. So in our blog, models. So in a, we're creating a blog app. So blogs have what? Posts. So I'm just copy pasting here. This is all in your lecture. So we have Django. We have our post, which inherits models model. We have an author. We have posts have an author. Posts have a title. Posts have text, and they also have a publish date. But we have this other thing. We imported just models. This was the first what we usually import. Now we imported the settings. So in here, the author has a foreign key. We're using the internal settings auth user model. So this is all built-in stuff in Django. So in the settings, we're grabbing the auth user model as a foreign key. We're going to get to that in a second. So now we created our models. Now what should we do in the terminal? Make this. We need extensions yet? We're going to manage. We're going to make our migrations. Make migrations. No. Oh, thank you. Now I'm going to open up this migrations over here. Yep. Make migrations. I'm going to do blog because I want to make the migration specifically for the blog. I think you can just do that, but I'm just going to declare the blog. See it right here? This file showed up under the migrations. So we created the model. This is all just code that interprets Python into essentially SQL that will put everything into the database, put the model into the database. All right. Now, and we also, sorry, in our blog app, we have this, I'm gonna close that. We've got models, we have tests that we've been essentially using models, views, and then URLs, but URLs hasn't been built yet. We have this admin thing here, this admin file. So I'm just gonna copy and paste some code. So notice that we just have Django can contribute import admin. So we still have brings in the admin ability, and then we're importing our model, our post model from models. So right here is, it's registering the model post into our admin site. This is all pre-built in, this admin.site. So it gives, when we look at the admin panel, you're gonna see posts in there. So your models will show up in the admin panel.
I've never looked at a website.
Nice.
I tested it the other day and brought up a little user window where it said for name and password.
So now we need to, what do we need to do? We need to migrate, manage.py, migrate. There we go. See all that stuff that got loaded in? Here's our initial blog file over here. And then all this other stuff is just pre-built into Django. with auth, admin, content types. So that this is all kind of related to the admin panel that we're about to see. So let's go to new window, our local host. Oh, yep. Let's see. Nothing shows up. So let's run the server. So Python manage.py. What is it? Run server. And you can emphasize 8,000, but the default is 8,000. So let's just run it.
It's default sent by Django. It's 8,000.
Yeah. So I'm back here, localhost 8,000. Cool. But let's go to our admin panel. So if we look in our, let's click there. So we've got this Django administration. This is our admin panel. So that in the URLs under my project, that's right here. Under the my project, the project URLs file, that's where that is. Grabbing the admin site, URLs, this is all pre-built in. So is this. Now how can I log in? Tom, 1, 2, 3. Please enter the correct. So we don't actually have any users in our admin database yet. No. So we're going to have to actually create a super admin user or a super user. All right. We actually have to clear. We actually, was it Python manage.py create super user. Then it's going to prompt us with some information, kind of like we did with, you'll see. Right here, we got user, we want to username, leave blank to use TA Preet. So that's the name of my computer, TA Preet, Thomas Anthony Preet. Or I can just do Tom. Email address, tom@tom.com. Password, I'm typing right now. It's registering, but it's not showing up on the screen. That's just the way password. So it's actually registering the password. Click 1, 2, 3. Password again, 1, 2, 3. It's registering, but not showing up. Now it says this password is too short. It must contain at least 8 characters. This password is too common. The password is entirely numeric. Bypass password validation and create user anyway. Yeah, why not? Super user created successfully. So let's go back. Yeah, that's a Django command. So I'm back here. All right, I got to restart the server. 1, 2, what is it? Run server, Python manage run server. So I'm running the server. I'm going to go to /admin or /admin. I type in my name and the password, Tom123. There we go. This is all built in the Django, this admin panel.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have this authentication, authorization. Here's our blog. Here's the app, and here are our posts from the post model.
Okay, cool.
So you remember yesterday we were adding stuff to the database in the Python shell. You can do this all here now.
Oh, okay. So
This is all built in. It's all the backend. Some people like to add stuff into the shell just because it's a lot easier, or not easier for them, or they just like to interact with the command line versus a GUI. So we can use a graphical user interface in the admin panel to add posts and authentication groups. So as a super user, I can limit users' ability to access certain apps within my Django project. So that's what's all kind of here. I can create groups that only have access to certain apps and limit certain users. But you don't have to worry about this authentication authorization now. We're just worried about our blog app. So on our post, I can click on here. We've got 0 posts. This is all built into the back end, or back into Django. So let's add a post. So we have author, title, text, and publish date. For the author, it's just drop down. It's only got 1 user in the database right now, myself, Tom. Title, what should my first blog post be?
Hello world.
Hello. world. This is my first blog post. I'm just doing this to enter data into the database so I can work with it when I actually am building up. I can and I can do save and add another. Let's add a few in there. This is another hello post. Cool.
That's how I would do this, right? That's neat. That's exactly how I do it.
All right, save and add another. How about another? No.
Yeah.
I'm doing this just to add data into my database. Save. I'm gonna save that one. So here are all my posts. I can view them. I can edit them. I can delete them. This is all built in. It's got this little home. Great.
That's based on the model.
Yep, correct. So if you click on posts, add posts, we have the author, the title, the text, and the publish date. I'm sorry. I don't know. It might just be a user. It's like an admin user. It's all like a.
Well, you're adding user right here so you can see what it is. To this page.
Right here?
Yeah.
Oh, right here. Yeah. First name, last name, staff status.
And you can type at the top and user.
Username, password. So it's pretty much what I did in the beginning.
Yeah, but you have to start it that way. Yeah.
So that's admin panel.
That's nice.
So now let's go back to our, let's log out of here.
Thanks for spending some quality time on your website.
So let's go back to our actual Control C blog now. So what do we need to do for our blog? We have to add first. So if I want to go to /blogs, so I need
to do another path.
Yeah. Yep.
Where you are.
So path, I need to include path, posts, let's do posts, and then include, now what are we including? The blogs, .urls? Okay,
It's blog.
yes, it's blog, thank you. Save, but I don't have a blog URL yet. I have to create that one. So let's create URLs. Right there. Copy some code. So Django URLs, and I'm importing everything from views. The first URL pattern is when I go to posts /nothing. It's going to go to the views. It's going to access this post list method that has yet to be built yet. And we're going to name it post list. So everything, what the hell? So everything here goes to /posts. Or I would say posts.
There's just the local host without posts. It's just like this.
Yeah. Right. So next, I obviously need to create a view. Right here, I need to create a post list. So I need to import or from models. Oh, geez. Models import post. And then def post list. Come on. Request. So I got the post list. I'm going to copy this over. It's all in your lecture. So we're going to post objects. We're going to order by the publish date. And then we're going to render request. And it's got this blog post list HTML template. It's passing in this dictionary of posts. So the next step would be probably make HTML. So in here, Yep, I need to make a new folder, templates. And then since I need to go to the blog folder and post list, I need to create another folder called blog. And within this folder, it's going to create my post list test. Yep. So that's all that. Let's just see if this works. So I'm just going to put that there. I'm going to run the server. Just going to go /posts. Hello, there we go. Any questions up to this point? Remote? All right, move on. So in this post list, I want to grab all the posts. So from my view, passing in posts. So I've got this href, this link to the URL post list for my blog. I just did like /posts. It's the same thing. Just keep that for post in posts. It's looping through that. It's going to post title, the publish date, and then this post, the post text. And it's got this a pipe and line breaker. This literally just means this is a Django keyword. It literally just puts a line break after that part. So it shows the post text, and then it's going to create a line break. Yeah, you can. So there we go. So here's our blog. It's kind of nice looking. Kind of looks like Craigslist right now. Dropping stuff. So if I click here, it takes me back to my blog, or it takes me back to /posts. And here, if I look down here, if I hover over this link, the route is just localhost 8,000 posts. So ideally, I want to click that and go to my detail page.
Yeah.
And also here, I don't want to hard code this. So I want to do this. So what this does is look at the URLs and go to the post list, name post list, and return, go to that URL, which is, there's nothing there, so it's just posts. That's all it's going to. Everyone good?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna close all this stuff. And right here, right now, it doesn't have any href. We'll get to that. Now let's do some styling.
Bootstrap.
Yep. Where is it? In my post list. So normally, remember how HTML, it's got the doc type, it's got a head, it's got a body.
Yeah.
So right here, we're just importing our head. So when this page loads, we're linking a style sheet, and we're linking it to this bootstrap CDN stuff, this bootstrap styling. So CDN stands for Content Delivery Network. And if I click on this, I'll go to it. Option click. So I go to this, open link. This is all the code that's in there. And literally it's all condensed. So this is literally, it's just what's loading in right now. And the reason why it looks all like this, so we've got like color and all that stuff, it's because it's got this min, it's all condensed because it's easier for computers to parse this because it's all condensed. If I remove this min and just do CSS, this is all the code that's actually being. So it just looks like CSS. Right? So that's what this is for.
Pre-digested.
Yeah, so it's going to load in this bootstrap, and then, yeah.
Bootstrap's more than a CDN.
Yeah, like you can.
It's just part of it.
So now we want to add in some other, like if we want to add our own CSS, what can we do? Blogs. We need to add in another folder called static. And then within here is within the static folder in our blog, we're going to add a CSS folder. Or is that a file? New folder, CSS. Then within here, we want to add our blog.css. I'm trying to copy, paste this stuff so we have an H1 element. So right here, our styling H1, it's an H tag or A tag. It's right there, H2. So it's going to style that, and then just the body, the entire body is going to be has some padding left of 15 pixels. Any questions?
So the
Go ahead.
So for the CSS, what's that?
No, this is our native CSS code that we also want to include in addition to using Bootstrap.
So we can up CSS code inside the
You can, but it's good to separate everything.
Why do you have two links of Bootstrap that are the same?
files.
Yeah, they're different files.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So is the folder naming convention static? Is that part of Django?
Yes. So you need to.
That's unchanged.
Yeah. So if you go to settings, through, you can see down here all the way at the bottom. It's going to say static URL. It's going to look into the static. So just keep that in mind. That's why we created this static folder, because it's going to look in that static and load all the static files.
Can I have a question?
Yes.
Could that be any name? Like if you had a lot to manage, could you add additional folders?
To that static URL in the
Or
settings.
just directories in general, or to it?
You're asking in the settings if I can add.
Can I just do like another line that says static URL?
I don't know. I don't think so. I would think that you'd only, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it shows the thing there, so I'd have to read that.
So let's see what our app looks like now. Refresh it. Ooh, getting better. But yeah, wait. So
We didn't call it script.
yeah, we didn't import our actual CSS yet. So in order for me to import our CSS from our native CSS, this is going to look kind of weird, but this is all Django. We have to load our actual static, all our static. Load static. So this is a Django keyword. Put it on top of your HTML file, and it's going to look into anything in the static, and it's going to load anything that's in the static stuff. But now we also actually have to grab the blog, our blog CSS. So let me just copy this.
That's pretty much going to be going at the top of all your pages, most likely.
Yeah. Yeah, think of it as like kind of importing everything in our static stuff. So then I also created this another link, style sheet link, that's linking to the static folder, and then within there, the route is the css.blog.css. So we have the Bootstrap applied. Now we're going to apply our own CSS. Did not work? I think I have to kill the server first. So I'm going to restart the server. There we go.
Whoa.
It's a little bit better. Got my blog, hello world, all that stuff. So we're not totally using Bootstrap. We're using Bootstrap up here, but all the Bootstrap styling and classes we're not using that yet. So let's use Bootstrap for all this.
So we should segregate in our mind these head things here.
Here.
And styling CDR or TDN.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of keep that separate in our minds from what we're about to do with Bootstrap.
No, because this is in conjunction. So I'm gonna. So I'm literally just. So what I added, everything is the same up here. Oh. So I've got this style sheet.
Yeah.
CSS blogs. Now here is this all class names that are related to Bootstrap. So content container, row, column, MD. This is all Bootstrap class names to style it like the way Bootstrap wants to. So I'm
able to do that because of what's in the head.
Yeah. So there, that's Bootstrap. That's all done by this column, like 8, row, all that stuff. Let's add some fonts to it. Everybody use Google Fonts?
Yeah, use it for project.
So let's change the font of our app. So this is kind of bland. What should we do?
Modak.
Where? Modak? You want this one?
Yeah, that's good.
So in order to do that, in order to use Google Fonts, see I've got this link tag, kind of similar to that, what we've been using. So underneath our style sheets, we should add that link. And then also says, use the following CSS rules to apply these specific, or specify these families. Font family, Modak cursive. So in our blog CSS, this is kind of what I want to be applied. So let's look to see. There we go.
Whoa, that's pretty awful. That's a bad choice.
Kids will love it.
Let's actually change it.
Oh, I like that one. That one's.
Indie flower.
Yeah, that's hipster.
That was still Modak.
What's that?
What was it?
Yeah, it says Modak.
Man, that's
It's like,
wow.
It's crazy. Somebody can just handwrite fonts.
let's see what this one looks like.
I'm gonna try to do make your own insert.
That's what it's basically showing, that you can make your own font.
Now I added the new link and then my blog. I'm redoing the font family just so it's a little more readable. Let's refresh.
Make a Marcos font,
There.
right?
That's a little bit better.
Okay.
I like it.
Let's change the rest.
Color.
It's kind of fun.
Now let's actually change. Let's add some more CSS to these class names and our post lists, like all this stuff. I'm gonna add. This is all just in the lecture. So now let's refresh. There we go.
Oh.
Blog is still not going anywhere.
Publish date.
All right. So we've gone through the URLs,
Yeah.
the views, and then the templates. So I want to show. So in Amazon, so in our post list, we have this head, and we also have this page header, which is just our blog. But if we want to load this blog, this my blog page on every single page, we'd have to copy this code on every single template, which isn't very efficient. And so, like on Amazon, this you have this header or this nav bar, and you also have this footer. But this footer and everything stays on every page. Header, footer stays. Do you think on every single page on Amazon, they just copy and paste this code at every single page? Correct.
They figured out a way to not do that.
So what we need to do, which is called base templating.
Base template.
So we're going to create a base template that will load every single time we load it, any template.
Cool.
So in my blog, under templates, I'm going to create a base .html. And in here, I'm going to copy on over the post list and just get rid of everything that I don't need for the post list. So what don't I need for the post list?
Post titles.
So I don't need like this part, right? Let's delete that. So, but I need to load some other template in here. So I need to do block content. Then end block. So what this is saying is when this loads, it's going to come down to here, then we're going to import or load another template within this block content, then continue down. So in order for our post list, because right now we're trying to load our post list. So let's get rid of everything in our post list that we don't need, like the head. So what don't we need? So we don't need any of this, right? Because we want this to be the header and everything. So let's get rid of that. And let's actually get rid of this. And then in here, this is where we want our block content to start. Block content. This is where we want our block content to end. I messed it up.
I'll take the website has a block at the top and not a block at the bottom.
All right. So let's see what's going on right now in our flow. What's supposed to happen? It goes to the URL. Where is it? Nope. Not that URL. It goes to this posts URL. It loads this post list. Where is it? View. Comes here, grabs all the posts ordered by publish date, and it renders the blog post list HTML, which is here. What we still need to load our base HTML first. So in order to do that, right, extends blog base HTML. So it's going to load everything from base first. So base is loading, it gets down to here the block content, and then it's going to load all this stuff, and then it's going to end the block, and we're going to go back to the base HTML and load the rest. Let's see what happens. Bless you. So nothing really changed, did it? Yeah, I mean, I think something changed, but like everything's still coming here. So let's review one more time what happened. Went to posts, grabbed the views post list method, grabbed all the posts, loaded the post list HTML. So it loaded this, and then it first loads the blog base HTML. It's loading everything in here, gets down to this block content, then it loads the rest of this, which is all the posts, then it ends the block, continues right here, downward.
That's awesome.
Make sense? All right. All right.
How does it know where that block content is coming from?
How does this?
So, right, yeah, on line 18, just say, hey, go get block content, right?
Yep. How does it know which HTML file?
Yes.
Because it's loading this HTML file in the views. So it's actually loading this HTML file first.
And it's calling back.
And then it's calling back to the blog.base.html.
Okay.
And it's just loading at like the blog base HTML up in this file. And then wherever block content is, that's where it inserts. Right here. All right. Let's take a 10-minute break and come back and build out that more.